What's up, Guardians, and welcome back, Titans. I'm Profane, thanks for checking out the video. Today we'll be checking out a new Titan build featuring an exotic that recently saw some adjustments to its overall performance, which has given Titans a lot more survivability whenever using the Prismatic subclass. As strong as the Prismatic Titan has been over the last few months, there's one big drawback to using this subclass, and that's the lack of health regenerating abilities like Devour. Previously, the only way to reliably trigger Devour has been by using the Buried Bloodline exotic sidearm. But with recent reworks to a number of exotics, we've seen the Mask of the Quiet One become an extremely viable option on Prismatic, and that's because this exotic now grants Devour to its user. This exotic comes with a dreaded Visage intrinsic trait, which now provides a few different benefits. Whenever you're at critical health, securing a final blow will restore up to 100 health points, and as you take damage from any source, you will receive a bonus of 5% energy going towards your melee, grenade, and class ability energies. There's a 1-second cooldown between applications, but this is going to provide significant levels of bonus energy to all of our abilities, so it's almost like having the benefits of Heart of Inmost Light. The final benefit that this exotic provides is that when we rapidly defeat at least 3 enemies, or secure a final blow when at critical health, we'll gain the Devour buff. The only requirement to this is that we use a Void Super, so whenever using Prismatic, this means we'll have to use the Twilight Arsenal. Devour is going to start with a 6-second timer, but by defeating more enemies, the timer is going to get extended to 11 seconds, and every final blow is going to provide us with bonus health and bonus grenade energy. The amount of grenade energy will be based on the difficulty level of each combatant, but this will provide between 7 and 20% bonus energy, which is going to drastically improve the uptime of our grenades. So with this exotic, we're gaining a substantial increase to the uptime of all 3 abilities, and we're providing ourselves with an abundant source of health recovery. We might be missing out on the bonus super damage that an exotic like the Star Eaters would provide, or the bonus melee damage that the Syntheseps would give us, but with a reliable source of health recovery and bonus ability energy, we're going to be damn near unstoppable, no matter what activity we're jumping into. To take full advantage of the bonus ability energy that this exotic provides, we will be using a Consecration focused setup, but only because it's the most effective right now. Having up to 3 Frenzied Blade charges with improved charge time is going to result in a lot of consecrations, which means we'll be able to easily activate and maintain Devour, and we're pairing Consecration with Diamond Lance so that we have a reliable means of instantly freezing enemies, which will be extremely cohesive with many of the new artifact mods that we'll talk about here soon. Diamond Lances will provide us and teammates with 2 stacks of Frost Armor whenever we slam them into the ground, giving us even more advantages when it comes to our survival. When it comes to our grenade option, we are utilizing Shackle Grenades so that we can suspend enemies just before slamming down with our Consecration. As far as our fragments go, we will have 6 to choose from, so we've got Facet of Dawn, which will grant us with Radiance after striking enemies with our Consecration. When Radiance is active, our weapons will gain a 25% increase in damage, and they'll gain the ability to pierce barrier champion shields, unless they're already pre-assigned to another champion. To increase our damage output even further, we are using Facet of Courage, which will give our light abilities a 10% increase in damage against enemies who are slowed, frozen, or suspended. Facet of Ruin will increase our damage even further, as it will increase the damage of shattering effects. It also increases the radius of ignitions and shatter, making them more effective against larger groups of enemies. We've also got Facet of Protection to give us improved survivability whenever we are surrounded by enemies. This will grant a 15% bonus in damage resistance, but we have to have 3 enemies nearby, and when we're in our Transcendence, that is going to be increased to 32%. We've also got Facet of Purpose, providing us with another source of improved survivability, as we'll gain Void over Shields whenever we collect an orb. Over Shields will grant us with a 70% bonus in damage resistance, helping us outlast and survive some intense situations. And the final fragment that we're using will improve our ability uptime. Facet of Balance will grant bonus melee energy whenever we rapidly defeat enemies with light-based energies, but by rapidly defeating them with dark abilities, we'll gain grenade energy instead. So between the bonus energy from Devour, Mask of Quiet One, and the Facet of Balance, we're going to have rapid regeneration of both our melee and our grenade, which will help us keep those consecrations and shackle grenades pumping out. Before we move on to our artifact and armor mods, let's talk about our preferred weapon loadouts. While the Mask of the Quiet One doesn't require the use of any specific weapon type, you will find a lot of success out of using the Monte Carlo because of its ability to generate bonus melee energy. This will be extremely cohesive with our use of Consecration and the Mask of the Quiet One because of the ability energy that it's already creating. This will be a better option against a lot of lower ranking enemies, so you'll find exotics like the Outbreak Perfected or Revision Zero to be better options in endgame activities, like Grandmaster Nightfalls. A few other great exotics to use with this build would be the Touch of Malice, or the Tommy's Matchbook, as both of these exotics inflict self-damage, which would help us proc our bonus health recovery and our Devour activation. But both of those exotics come with a bit of a learning curve. When it comes to our companion weapons, grenade launchers like the Velocity Baton or the Explosive Personality would be great options right now, especially since these can stun overload champions. One advantage that the Explosive Personality has over top of many other grenade launchers is the inclusion of Disruption Break, which will increase the damage of our kinetic weapons after breaking enemy shields. It also provides us with bonus resilience after final blows, helping us stay alive in those challenging activities. Weapons with Demolitionist and Pugilist would help out a lot, as these would improve the uptime of our grenade and melee energies. When it comes to the artifact mods that we're using, we've got Concussive Reload, so by using a Breach Load grenade launcher against high value targets, we'll apply a 15% weakening debuff, allowing us to deal out a lot more damage. We've also got Conductive Cosmic Crystal to give us even more of a damage bump against slowed and frozen targets. This will provide a 5% increase in damage, but only for our Void and Arc abilities, and any Dark Ether weapons. We've also got Curative Orbs, and the Thick of It, which will increase our production of orbs and armor charges, which will help us recharge our abilities even faster. With Class Tree, Artifact, and Weapons now addressed, the only thing left to talk about is our armor and armor mods. When it comes to our main character stats, we want to focus on Resilience, Strength, and Discipline. Tier 10 Resilience will reduce incoming damage by 30%, and by focusing as much towards Strength and Discipline as we can, we'll be able to reduce the cooldown time of our grenade and melee energies even further. As far as armor mods go, our main goal is to create Orbs of Power and improve the uptime of our Consecration. We've got Helmet Siphon mod, Heavy Handed, and Reaper to be able to consistently create orbs, which will fuel melee kickstart, which is going to take those armor charges and convert them into more melee energy. We've also got mods like Invigoration, Outreach, and Distribution, providing us with great sources of extra energy. So between our fragments, our exotics, and all of our armor mods, we're going to have a never-ending supply of grenades and melees, allowing us to shred through enemies while keeping Devour active, which is going to keep us safe and protected as we pummel through those enemies. And with that, we've now covered all the ins and outs of this amazing Prismatic Titan build. A build that's going to provide you with a ton of bonus ability energy and bonus health regeneration to keep you alive and kicking under the most challenging of engagements. If you need help putting together today's build, then be sure to check out my Mobalytics link that's down in the description, where you'll be able to find this and a ton of other in-game builds. That's going to wrap things up for today's video, but I'd love to hear your thoughts about the Prismatic Titan and the Mask of the Quiet One. Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. Thank you as always for checking out the video. If you enjoyed and found it helpful, then be sure to hit that like button below, along with the subscribe button if you're new. Both are greatly appreciated, and both really do help support the channel. And until next time, Guardians, this has been Profane, wishing you all some happy hunting.